of American television.
Deli in the world. Hi, your table's waiting, so come on in. Get ready for outrageous stories served up with wide wit. Welcome to... And here's the host of Baloney, Pat Bullard.
Pat Bullard, welcome to Baloney. Nice to have you all here. Just a reminder, too, in case of an emergency, your seat cushion is a flotation device. Baloney! That is Baloney, but what isn't Baloney is we're going to have lots of fun, and our studio audience will win lots of money. And here to help us out, of course, is the belle of Baloney. Actually, she's not here, ladies and gentlemen. She is not here, but we have a substitute, and I'm kind of excited about this. Lovely Cindy can't be here. I don't want to get into why. We have a substitute. It is, from the kitchen, Big Mac. Big Mac. Big Mac, how are you? Always a pleasure.
People.
Oh, Mac.
You didn't tell me there was people.
There was going to be people, Mac. We talked about that. Stop hitting that, Mac.
I really worked hard on the intros.
On the introductions?
That's right.
Okay. And now why don't you just go ahead and do those, Mac? The
Our
introduction.
first guest, the real funny guy, Stevie Ray Fronsee. And another funny guy, Billy Riback. And a real funny girl, Leifer.
Have a seat. Mac, that was beautiful. That was
Very good,
astounding.
very
You
good.
go on over there now.
And away we go.
Okay. I want to explain the rules of our game if you folks are ready to play. You're always ready. I know that, Billy. The rules of our game are quite simple. At the beginning of each round, our storytellers will be given a topic. And they each, of course, will tell a story related to that topic. Now, while each story will seem more outrageous than the last, in fact, one of the stories is true, and the others are phony or true. Baloney! Exactly, exactly. And your job will be to separate the truth from the baloney. Everyone who correctly picks the true story will share in our jackpot each round of $1,000. It's that simple. It's very easy. Easy rolls. We'll start round one, and of course, we'll turn to the lovely Big Mac.
Now I know how Van der White feels. It should only happen to me.
Okay. Boy, thank you, Mac. You know, I have been watching Wheel of Fortune a good 5 years, and I always thought it was Vanna. Let's get started with round one and start with Stevie Ray Fronsee. Come on up here, Steve.
Now, everybody would like to win a lottery, but they figure first they have to buy a ticket. But there was this one fellow, Tom Sawyer, paint store owner, swore he would never buy a lottery ticket. But one day, he finds this ticket outside his store. It was just laying there, you know, in this little girl's hand. And, no, it was on the ground. But it was on the ground. But he finds this ticket, and guess what? He didn't win. And what are the odds of that? Isn't much of a story. Wait a minute, I remember. Okay, he didn't win instantly, but it did qualify him to enter the drawing for the really big money. So he invests a few cents on a stamp. Well, first he spent hours looking for a stamp on the ground, but then he buys a stamp in the same area. He buys a stamp. No, it's true. He buys a stamp, sends in the ticket, and out of about 500,000 entries, he wins, and he won $1 million. Now, I don't know about you, ladies and gentlemen, but I hate people like that.
Thank you. The dynamic Stevie Ray Fronsee. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome one of my favorite comedians, Carol Leifer. Come on up, Carol.
Okay.
Okay, now this story is really, really true, okay? Now, Tony Dempster isn't an art critic, but he knows what he likes. Now, while strolling the streets of Barcelona, he saw a small painting depicting the final moment of truth in a bullfight, okay? He liked it, and he shelled out 100 pesetas to buy it. What is a peseta? Why, it's a peso, only in snack size. Now in cheese flavor. No, so anyway, it hung on the wall of Tony's home until he got married. Now that's when his new bride insisted on exiling the painting to the attic. A few years later, are you ready for this, kids? Tony's wife decided she wanted to use the frame. It's very economical, why not? Anyway, so she pulled out the canvas, but she discovered a charcoal sketch on the back. What was that sketch of? The Shroud of Oprah Winfrey. No. Actually, she took it to a friend, okay, the sketch, who was an art student, who immediately identified it as a genuine Picasso. Oh. And the sketch was worth over, are you ready for this, $23,000. True, totally true.
Let's turn to Billy Riback. Come on up, Billy.
This is a very, very horny crowd. All right, you want to hear the real story, the true story? Yeah. All right, this is a feel-good story. There was a guy named Harold Melter. And he was experiencing a run of bad luck. Let's face it, anytime you get the runs, it's bad luck. And so what happened was, nothing was going right. His auto business was in very bad shape. A friend of his told him he looked exactly like Morton Downey Jr., so things were not going well for the man. So he took his last $5,000 and he went to Las Vegas. You guys been to Vegas? Yeah. Okay, so, I love watching old people in Vegas because they're great. They play the slot machines. They don't even look in the tray. They hear the sound. They know they won, right? I saw a 95-year-old woman. She's pulling. I won. Her teeth fell in the tray. That's what happened. Anyway, Harold Melter is at the roulette table. He sees a lady. He says, how old are you? She says, 28. He puts $5,000 in 28. He wins $175,000. But more amazing at the end, you know what happened? She lied. She told him. She said she was 28, but she was really 35. That is the true story, I swear to God. Real story.
All right. Thank you, Billy. A good round. It could only happen to me. Now, of course, you're going to have to vote on which story you believe to be true, and let me remind you of what those stories were. Stevie told us about Tom Sawyer and the winning lottery ticket. If you believe that story, you will set your dial to green. And Carol told us about the Picasso painting behind the bull. If you believe that story, you will set your dial to red. And Billy told us about the man who bet it all on number 28. If you believe that story, you will set your dial to blue. Now, audience, please vote now. All right, we're going to find out how the audience voted. Let's take a look, shall we?
I'm all a tingle, Pat.
27 people believe Stevie Ray's story about the found lottery ticket. 47 people believe Carol's story about the found Picasso. And 26 people believe Billy's story about the number 28. And now, the lovely Big Mac will reveal what story is true and what two stories are baloney. Mac?
Now?
Right now, Mac. That's why I introduced it.
He's guessing.
Stevie Ray. Thank you, Matt. Stevie Ray, ladies and gentlemen, was telling the true story about the found lottery ticket, and that, of course, means that 27 people will share in our jackpot this round of $1,000. Let's get down to business. We're going to take a short break, a very brief break. Before we do that, I will share with you a slice of bologna, something to ponder during the commercial break, okay? In Oklahoma, it is against the law for fish to drink liquor. Is that the truth or baloney? We'll find out right after these messages. Glad to be back, and before the break, I left you with this slice of bologna, and let me remind you of what that was. In Oklahoma, it is against the law for fish to drink liquor. That is true. That's absolutely true. Well, I mean, you can imagine because they get so obnoxious, you know. Oh. Very good. Very good. The lovely Cindy, ladies and gentlemen. Give her a big hand. You're more than just a little late.
Yeah, but you're not going to believe it, Pat.
Uh-huh.
No, you know, I was waiting for the bus, and all of a sudden, a UFO came down and whisked me away.
Just whisked
Yeah,
you
just
away.
whisked me away.
A UFO.
Oh, no, it's true, it's true.
Yeah.
And the most amazing thing was that they were really handsome, you know, and they had like really great sweaters and a wonderful smile, and you know, Pat, they look just like you.
Did any of them look like me?
Oh, yeah, the women did. Yeah.
Oh, well, it's nice to have you back. Let's get over and keep the game going.
Okay.
All right, the lovely Cindy.
Thanks for coming, Cindy.
Anytime. I was just getting the hang of it, too, you know.
Thank you, Matt. Big Matt. Thank you very much. All right, Cindy's back. Life is good. Let's get going with round 2 and turn to Cindy for our topic. Cindy?
Yeah, glad to get back to planet Earth. Surprise, surprise, surprise.
Our topic is surprise, 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 and let's start with Carol Leifer. Come on up, Carol.
Well, you know, in the news recently, several beauty pageants have been fraught with controversy, including secret nude pictorials of the winner, pregnant contestants, yes, and the use of special sticky two-sided tape to keep the swimsuit from creeping up, which coincidentally keeps us gals mighty happy. But anyway, however, none of these scandals compare to the outrage that occurred in Yugoslavia. Are you ready for this, kids? During their national beauty contest, the winner was a stunning blonde-haired, blue-eyed, wonderfully proportioned goddess with a voice like an angel. But the judges received quite a surprise when some people recognized the winner. Okay, you ready? It seems that the new Miss Yugoslavia was, alas, once the captain of the National Springboard Diving Team. The men's diving team.
Oh! Hey, Betty, did you like that one? I didn't even splash.
All right. Thank you very much, Carol. Surprise, 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 Billy Riback. Come on, Billy.
No way.
Come on, Billy, you tell him. You tell him.
This is about sex education, so listen, Pat, okay?
All right.
This is exactly what happened. Now, this is very interesting. Sex education is very, very tough these days. The birds and the bees. How does a father tell his little kid? First, the bee has to put that tiny little condom on his finger. That's got to be a big problem, I think. Now, I want you to listen, because there was a girl. She got a package of Cracker Jacks. You open a package of Cracker Jacks, what do you expect? You expect a whistle, a decal. She got a sexual pamphlet called Erotic Sexual Positions from Around the World. You imagine you're at a baseball game, a guy's going, peanuts, popcorn, missionary position. That's got to be kind of a... And believe it or not, and her grandmother it was amazing, because the grandmother who was with the girl said she wasn't amazed, because the girl thought it was an exercise book. She was 8 years old. In a sense, it was, but I can't do 15 repetitions, frankly. But that's the true story. You got to be better about that.
Billy! Billy Riback. Thank you, Billy. Let's bring up Stevie Ray Fronsee. Come on up, Stevie. Go on now. Tell him, buddy. Tell him.
I've never lied to you before. There was this one fellow, Alan Pruitt, and he had never been in an airplane his entire life. And, well, he lived in the 1800s. No, he lived now. But he'd never been on a plane. He didn't like to lose control, I guess, and he'd never been on a train either, and he'd been on a taxi only once. And so finally he gets determined he's going to fly somewhere. He decides to go to London, and he gets really drunk. He gets on this plane, and the plane lands. He passes out. The plane lands. He's the first one out of the airport, just really proud of himself that he flew to London. And the thing is, he was in London, Ontario. And that's the story.
Stevie Ray Fronsee. Okay, you're going to have to vote, and of course, I'll remind you of what the stories were. Stevie told us about the man who went to the wrong London. If you believe that story, you will set your dial to green. And Carol told us about the bogus beauty. If you believe that story, you will set your dial to red. And Billy told us about the Cracker Jack box with a real surprise inside. If you believe that story, you will, of course, set your dial to blue. Vote now. Let's find out how the audience voted. 15 people believe Stevie Ray's story about the mix-up in London. 44 people believe Carol about the male beauty queen. And 41 people, very close, believe Billy's story about sex positions in a Cracker Jack box.
Which is very difficult, by the way.
It's very difficult. I've tried. Let's find out which story is true and which two stories are baloney and turn, thankfully, to the lovely Cindy. Yes. Cindy?
No problem, Pat. I'm on top of it.
Story, and that, of course, means that 41 people will share in our jackpot this round of $1,000. Congratulations to those people. Job well done, Billy. All right, we're going to take a very short break. Before we do that, of course, I'll share a slice of bologna with you, give you something to think about. Tigers are capable of having sex up to 20 times a day. Twice what a normal man can do? We'll find out if that's the truth or baloney right after these messages. Thank you. We are back. I'm here. The lovely Cindy's here. Before the commercial break, I left you with this slice of bologna. Let me remind you of what that was. Tigers are capable of having sex up to 20 times a day. Is that the truth or baloney? It is true. Yes. Which is probably what Tony the Tiger meant when he kept saying it's great. Let's turn to the lovely Cindy and get our topic for round 3, shall we?
Okay, all I want to say is pranks for the memories.
Pranks for the memories. Let's go. Billy Riback. Come on up, Billy.
Okay. Ready? Okay. Now, all right, we're going to do this now. Pat, when I say romance, what do you think? You think violins, you think candlelight dinner, you think vibrating bed with some lanolin. That's what you think of, Pat. But when Martin Bowman thought of romance, you know what he did? When he was really attracted to a woman, this is unbelievable, he would steal her credit cards and then send her really lavish gifts on her credit card. He'd send her champagne, caviar, specially marked packages of Cracker Jacks, whatever it took. And then he would enclose a note from a secret admirer, but don't worry, there are crazy people out there. I destroyed the carbons. True story. You'll see.
Billy Riback, thank you very much, Billy. Let's bring up Stevie Ray Fronsee. Come on, Steve. Come on up, buddy. Go get it. Get her. Stevie Ray.
First, I just want to apologize for lying to you recently. I'm sorry. Okay, well, this one's the truth. There was this student, Alan Rupert, and for a fraternity prank, he had to change street signs by painting over them, changing certain letters. Oh. So Greek restaurant became Geek Rest. And the bravest one, I think, was police station. He changed that to like station. And then open Sunday's massage parlor. That became Sunday Mass, which, that's the only reason why I was there, by the way. True story.
All right. Stevie Ray Fronsee with what he believes to be a true story. Come on up, Carol Leifer. Come on up, Carol. Go get him. Go get him. Thanks for the memory.
This time, hook me up to a polygraph, I'm telling the truth, okay? Now, this story is kind of kinky, all right? Now, this guy that I'm going to talk about is in a league all his own, all right? His nickname is the Phantom Pedicurist, yes. And what he likes to do is, are you ready, paint the big toenails of female students anonymously. He hangs around the library pretending to drop something under the table, you know, whoops, there goes my copy of War and Peace, you know. And then he does his thing before the woman ever knows what hit her. Ew, yes. Police nicknamed him Leonardo da Toenail. True.
Thank you very much, Carol. All right. A good round, 3 very good stories. Let me remind you of what they were. Stevie told us about the prankster who changed the signs of our times. If you believe that story, you will set your dial to green. And Carol told us about the phantom pedicurist. If you believe that story, you will set your dial to red. And Billy Riback told us about the romantic credit card thief. And if you believe that story, of course, you will set your dial to blue. Audience, please vote now. Let's find out how the audience voted on this round. 37 people believe Steve's story. 27 people believe Carol.
I sucked them in.
And 36 people believe Billy. And as always, we turn to the lovely Cindy to find out which story is true and which two stories are baloney.
Okay.
Cindy?
Here we go.
Carol Leifer. Wonderful job, Carol. Carol Leifer was telling the true story about the phantom pedicurist, and that, of course, means that 27 people will share in our jackpot of $1,000 this round. Congratulations. We'll be back with a lot more baloney right after these messages. That is about all the time we have for this show. I'd like to thank our wonderful guest, Stevie Ray Fronsee. Thank you, Stevie. Carol Leifer. And Billy Riback. Thank you, Billy. We never like to say goodbye without thanking the lovely Cindy. Thank you, Cindy. Thank you for coming home. And our very special guest, Big Mac, the cook. Be sure to join us next time, and don't forget to bring a big appetite because we'll be serving up lots more. That's right. Thank you.
The